So I think Empire Satanist scared off quite a few of our regulars because right now it's only four of us. So I'm Adam, and we decided to do another episode of Homebrew Hell, where we go trawl through DnDwiki and find the interesting, the strange, and usually not very well thought out ideas.
I'm Alabaster the Unicorn, and it looks like this day's catch. I don't know. Who knows? We might be able to find a diamond in the dung heap. We don't know that. So let's continue.
I'm the Dialtid, and I'm ready for some trash.
I am Mrs. Tramps, and I am not like other girls. Oh, who am I kidding? I am like other girls. Let's just get this started.
So we're going to start off with 5th edition, and I'm going to be frank, the only person here that knows 5th edition all that well is Al. We're starting with what's called an exponential weapon. Weapon any and legendary requires attunement. Don't know what that means. Let me guess. 5th edition doesn't have. You don't have the ability to pay for enchantments.
I don't think so. I think you're like supposed to find them, if I recall.
Yeah, there is no magic item mark.
Okay,
It's
so that's probably to get rid of the characters that are at like level 3 and above that just, oh yeah, I have a +1 longsword. I just, got at the magic mart. I always suggest Ted. Ted knows how to make a great magic weapon.
Also, Ted knows how to make pipe bombs as well.
Ted's an alchemist. So 5th edition, you do not have a magic mart, so that's why you're supposed to find this. So the way an exponential enchantment works is this weapon has the uncanny ability to inflict exponentially more damage than a normal weapon. On a critical hit, so crits only, the damage equals the weapon's die damage squared. I'm assuming that it doesn't include the *2 to *3 to even *4 multiplier. Otherwise, this is going to get
I
ridiculous.
believe it replaces it with a squared value.
Which is insane.
I don't tell me I have to get a calculator for this.
Or what if we're doing it wrong and this is just broken, where it just does the 1d8 and you do it at max, where it's 8 times 8, where instead we're just doing it the die squared. The wording's kind of weird.
Well, he does give an example. I think maybe it should have done a little more explanations though, because he gives a longsword's damage is a 1d8, standard longsword. But on a crit with this enchantment, it would do 1d8. You calculate first because, as everyone should totally know, not just people that have actually went through years upon years of math, that the order of operations indicates that parentheses go first. You have to instantly know this.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Yep. So parentheses first. So you roll your die and you get your number and then square it, which means you might have the magical ability to only do plink damage.
Yeah, because 1 squared equals 1.
Which you probably would have been just. So, like, is the crit damage? Do you do normal die damage, then you do the crit damage, or
I don't think there's any crit damage. I think you don't get the multiplier. I think you just square it.
Yeah, from what I understand, it replaces simple multiplication with the square.
Which I guess makes it a little less overpowered because, yeah, you can do up to 144 damage with some of the two-handed weapons, but on average, you'll be doing more damage on a crit with just by using the standard calculations that the D20 system uses. I would assume that you add your strength or dex modifier afterwards too. So the most I think you could on any other enchantments. I'm surprised they don't have enchantment levels though, because this might take up some of the spell level. So because I know in 3.5 you can only go up to, I believe, +5 until you have to go into epic. I'm surprised they don't have like an equivalent spell level that this would kind of cover. Because if it does, that means you could potentially do up to 154 damage, which that's impressive.
So this is not even accounting the fact as if you're like you can are a powerful build and you can wield larger weapons. Like if you're running a Goliath or Orc character, then you can do some serious damage.
Yeah, you'd have to figure out what the square of 18 is. I can't do that by heart.
Yeah, I only know up to 12, to be honest. That's all I was like required to memorize in school.
I think it would be. Oh man, this is gonna be a pain in the butt. It would be like
We need a
324 damage, I think.
Yeah, we need a calculator for
Yeah,
this.
the
And
fact that I
like,
have to stop and think. This is why I don't play Mutants and Masterminds, even though it's a perfectly good game. You have to do like mathematical equations to figure out if you can chuck a truck at a villain.
What?
yeah,
That just sounds. Oof.
Because you have to calculate your strength bonus modifier and subtract by the weight of the vehicle's category. It's
and
kind of ugh.
yeah, and I don't think like Roll20 does like square stuff for you. Like you can't like do like exponents and stuff on like Roll20, which like
Well,
that's really
if you're using Roll20, that means you're using the computer, and computers have built-in calculators.
that's what I like about Roll20. It calculates everything for you.
But this is designed for meat space stuff primarily, so
Yeah.
you would have to bring out your accounting calculator or your graphing calculator and then just bleep bleep bleep.
Yeah.
Which that's always a great way to slow down the pace of the game. I get the feeling this was made by a DM that didn't realize keep it simple stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
But enough of that. Let's get into something I know we all know, which is 3.5. Allow me to introduce to you the Assling or
Yes.
Aceling.
Before the invention of the iron, but they used these instead.
So the Aceling or Assling, as I'm going to call them, is a 3.5 race. They are the offspring of a Tiefling and an Aasimar. What? Kudos.
Specifically, their 3.5 race, apparently designed by someone who played 5e and forgot what does and doesn't exist in 3.5.
Almost certainly. And thus they have the features of both their celestial and infernal backgrounds, even though I wouldn't it cancel out, probably?
Yeah, why Asling? Why not Teethmar? That's actually sounds a little bit better, like a little less unfortunate.
Well, it's also harder to make it unfortunate. So, Astlings will have a mostly human appear-on. Might want to have double checked there, my friend. Appear-on. But with a few distinct differences. Aslings will often have a hint of red in their skin mixed with their Aasimar parents' skin color, so they'll look like the product of a tie-dye shirt factory exploding. Because aren't Aasimars' skin usually like a color between gold and
I
blue
just
or
imagine
whatever?
this looks like they have a rash broken out.
Well, it's like two different rashes though, because if like the Aasimar parent has blue skin, you got like tie-dye from hell.
Yeah, like I can imagine like a really bad case of like rosacea or something.
They also often have very small horns and a potential tail, though not all Aeslings have a tail. Their hair is normally a mix in color between their parents, and their eye color will normally follow after one of their parents. So they look like they got thrown into a blender, a genetic blender.
Yeah, just to point this out, part of the reason why I say is written by someone who played 5e and forgot a lot of stuff about 3.5. At least in 3.5, both defense and Zephyrs look a lot more human than they do in later editions. So a lot of this is based off of what they look like in 3.5 and 5e.
Yeah, because 3.5, I do know that Tieflings, I think, only have the horns and the skin change at
They
most.
sometimes have cloven hooves.
That's about it. And
It
Aasimar look
was.
almost completely human. They just have a slightly different skin color.
Not even the skin color, it's usually their hair or eyes.
Yeah.
Well, usually with tieflings, it just depends on it. It's just what they can and can't, what they possibly could have. So it just really depends. But honestly, honestly though, I think the better choices were made going 4th edition and above with the tiefling aesthetics.
So what you're saying is 4th edition actually did do something right for once.
Yes.
We must burn him at the stake. Sorry, but you can't exist anymore.
Yeah, we can't be friends anymore. My mom won't allow me out with you anymore.
Oh, so that's how it is. I see. Excuse me. I gotta go tend to some things while I mold a soap.
So while Al escapes to just play more Crusader Kings 2, let's continue. So being touched by both celestial and infernal planes through their heritage also grants them great affinities from both sides, though they would normally be considered a disgrace to either side of the spectrum, even though I guess he forgot that Aasimar and Tieflings don't really care that much about what their divine or
Yeah,
infernal
their
ancestors
ancestry is
do.
pretty distant.
We're talking like hundreds of years. There are almost no recordings of Aslings because it's a horrible name, as it is very rare for a Tiefling and an Aasimar to tolerate the other, even though they totally can just fine. Just look at half the parties that form. Let alone have a child together. As such, it is unclear of their true potential, so they are the ultimate Sioux race. No one knows what their true potential is. Whether they gain many of the strengths of both of their heritage, or if they simply are dilated dilated by the mix.
Dilated? You mean diluted?
No, dilated.
Why
They
would you say
expand.
dilated?
Ugh.
They
Please
expand.
don't use the word. It's been corrupted these days.
They widen. They're just a bunch of fat tie-dye factory looking horned
Oh my
weirdos.
gosh, are they inflating?
Oh no.
Either way, they are sure to have at least one potential from the combination of celestial and infernal heritage. This is like the third time this person used that exact phrasing.
Yes.
Personality. They have none. No personality. Physical description. Some Aslings have stronger infernal biological inheritance than they do celestial. As such, they have a few more tiefling features than other Aslings. Their skin's more red, their horns are slightly bigger, and they're very likely to have a tail, but no cloven hooves or feet because this guy forgot about that. Some Aslings will have a stronger celestial biological inheritance than they do infernal. As such, they have a few more Aasimar features than other Aslings. Their skin is less red. Your horns are slightly smaller. I just noticed the change in.
They literally are the same sentences with the words changed it out.
Wait a minute, I have horns?
Yes, apparently both have horns.
According to this guy.
And they're much less likely to have a tail. I love the change in perspective there and the sheer laziness. Relations. As rare as they are, most people have no real opinions on Aslings as a whole because they don't exist. They don't exist. It normally depends on their views of Aasimar and Tieflings separately. If they have a strong mistrust of Tieflings, they will often be hesitant towards Aslings as well. But with the celestial background mixed in as well, most people have a hard time knowing. So they have a hard time knowing how to feel about Aslings as a race, and will often take into account their names and personality to see which side they take more from in order to form an opinion. But either way, their tiefling background will have causes most people to have at least some level of hesitation and mistrust towards them instinctually. But I guess this guy forgot that there are societies that tend towards evil, huh? Alignment. Their mixed heritage leaves them with little pull towards innate good or evil, and this is often related to most of their upbringing. They are most often very neutral in their alignments. Lands. Nah, I don't feel like writing anything. Religion. Nah, I don't want to do that. Language. You can speak, read, and write Common, Infernal, and Celestial. No other bonus languages, even though all 3.5 races have more bonus languages usually, based on what races they talk to.
Even many monsters have bonus languages.
Names. Asslings are extremely rare, and thus have no common names they are often given. Translation. I don't want to write anymore. I didn't realize how hard this was. However, on the rare occasion one is born, it is often given a name from either its tiefling or Aasimar background. The name is often chosen dependent on how the parents wish their offspring to be viewed as, whether it is as one from an infernal or celestial background. That's like the fourth time this Joker has used that fucking phrasing. I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to dig a hole in my brain.
Yeah, he definitely is very repetitive.
I think it's just to pad out words. Like they started out thinking I'm gonna make a great homebrew, and then like after writing the first paragraph, they realized it's hard. Other times they are given a more generic name or a name that combines aspects of both cultures. Either way, asslings often take their names to heart and attempt to embody what they are meant as. So the racial traits, your charisma score goes up by 2, and either your intelligence or wisdom increase by 1. You get to pick. They're medium sized, so, basically standard human
I should point
size.
out that usually player races in 3.5 don't have odd number bonuses to stats.
They do now. Also, notice that they get no negatives, even though they should take one of the negatives from their ancestors.
Well, to be fair, only tieflings have a negative.
Good point. So, their base land speed's 30 feet. They get dark vision, so they're fine with dark vision. They have dualistic resistance. They are resistant to fire and radiant damage.
Radiant damage doesn't exist in 3.5.
So
Nice.
this is confirmed that this guy, just was, came from 5th edition, was like
Even
writing
better, it's literally the spell options in the dualistic heritage.
Oh yeah, dualistic heritage. You know the thaumaturgy cantrip. That's
Does
not
not
a
exist in 3.5.
GG. Once you reach 3rd level, you cast the protection from evil and good spells once per day. That should be as a spell-like ability, by the way.
Yeah.
Charisma is your spell casting ability for these spells, so they just gain a free spell for no reason. Caster level is blank. I guess thinking what a caster level for it would be too hard, even though it should be just your character's level. The save DC is I don't know. I don't know. So automatic languages, common, infernal, and celestial. You get no bonus languages. They don't exist in our world. Favorite class? Level adjustment? What's that? I don't
Oh, look at the
understand.
level adjustment blank. That means it's not supposed to be for player hands.
By the way, it should be level adjustment +1 because both Aasimar and Tieflings are level adjusted by that. Just a heads up, anyone who is coming into 3.5. So, anyway, that's half not filled in. Vital statistics. Asslings mature at the same rate as humans but live a few years longer. They also appear to age much slower after reaching their mid-20s. And they only they only have the oh no, they have the other aging effects.
Wait, this is few years longer? Is that what they consider that?
No, they didn't consider anything when they wrote this. Also, I'm pretty sure they messed up the ratio for the ages. Because isn't old age -4 and then +2?
No.
I know venerable is -6, isn't it?
No, they got it
Yeah,
right.
they're dividing the bonuses and penalties to each aging category separately. So at venerable, you get -6 to your physical stats and +3 to your mental stats.
By the way, I'm back, guys. You can't keep me away.
Yeah, we can. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's just 4E was very much not D&D.
Absolutely, it wasn't.
Speaking of 4th edition, guess what? The next thing we're going to look at is for 4th edition thing.
Oh boy, 4E is my favorite World of Warcraft unofficial tabletop game.
You know what's really great, by the way, besides the fact we're about to be learning about the glorious Bearborn, is that there's a surprisingly good amount of homebrew for 4th edition, and I don't know why. It really was only played for like 2 years. I really am kind of baffled on why I ran into so much
For
when we
those
were going
who
through.
weren't there during 4E, most people jump ship to Pathfinder in terms of currently running games.
Which is strange. Like I said, so this is just very strange to me that someone actually bothered to write something for it. By the way, this page is incomplete and or lacking flavor, and it was marked as abandoned about a year ago, so the author just kind of, I guess, threw it into the trash can.
Much like the rest of 4th edition.
So the Bearborn. They're fierce and powerful. The Bearborn are a noble, honor-bound race. Racial traits. Average height. Holy shit, they're big bastards. 6'9" to 7'5". Average weight. Yeah, despite their size, they're only like 200 pounds, really. So they're actually pretty skinny.
Yeah, honestly, like he doesn't understand the concept of BMI.
Yeah, because the thing is, even if they're like super muscular, like even if they're just muscular, muscle weighs more than fat. So I would probably put them between, I would say 280 to 350.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Also, if they're bears, based off of bears, they could just be naturally chonkier too, because
So
bears are.
yeah, they might be 310 to 380.
Yeah, like I said, because of bears, you're gonna have a bit of a. Imagine if I saw these guys like they're supposed to be like they're going to be like the linebacker build, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I feel like this kind of reminds me of like what they do with like Pokemon, because like I don't know about you, Dobson, but like it seems like the weights are usually they tend to like underestimate weights with like Pokemon.
Yeah, to give you an idea, they made a blue whale Pokemon who, by weight wise, due to his size, should be a lighter than air.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of like what the Pokemon people did with like Pokemon and their weights.
Wasn't it called a float whale though? Like wasn't Whale Lord a float whale? So it, like
Yeah, but it literally just floated into the stratosphere just by existing.
I'm just now envisioning your rival comes down on a zeppelin that is a whale lord that's just floating through space. Imagine if that was an entrance.
To give you an idea, one of the more recent games introduced horse Pokemon that had a realistic weight for a Clydesdale horse, and it ends up being one of the heaviest Pokemon ever, despite having a realistic weight for a horse.
I love it. That also means that those weight-based attacks are really good for him.
Yeah. Anyways, we should get back to D&D.
We should get back to the Bearborn.
That was just kind of a tangent because it really reminded me how Pokemon weights work like with this guy.
Well, that's just the effect of 4th edition. It's just so boring that no one wants to pay attention to it, even if it's a homebrew. So the ability scores are you get +2 to strength and +2 to charisma. I guess bears are very attractive. I guess to this weirdo. No offense, creator, but why they should not be getting charisma. They should be getting just
The thing is,
constitution.
he could be into bears if you catch my drift.
Oh, I see.
I'm just now envisioning that he has a shrine dedicated to Nicolas Cage in a bear suit.
Why is it +2 strength or constitution? +2 charisma or constitution. That's
You
a
can
weird
pick one or the other, which is weird because you usually are just giving them. The size is medium, which makes sense, although they're on the upper end of that. Their speed is 6 squares. I don't know what 4E means, but I'm assuming that's normal.
6 squares. It's 6 squares.
So they move at 36 squares because it's 6 squared. He has exponential speed. He has that magic ability that he got from the sword.
Oh god. It's like you were talking about.
The homebrew is oozing into each other.
It's all coming back.
The merge is beginning. The dimensional merge between reality and fantasy is happening. Time is a flat circle. The earth is cubed. You've been educated wrong. They have normal vision though. I would imagine I would have given them low light actually, because bears have pretty decent senses, or maybe like the scent feat. Their languages are common in one other language. I guess whatever. You just pick whatever. They gain +2 endurance and +2 intimidate. And they have a feat called strong, where you get a +1 racial bonus to fortitudes. You also get the Bearborn Oath. You can use the Bearborn Oath as an encounter power. Bearborn Oath, encounter, minor action, 1 target, melee 1. Don't know what any of that means because it's 4th edition. Effect, you mark your target until the end of your next turn. If the marked target uses an attack that doesn't include you as a target, it takes damage equal to your charisma modifier. What? So the enemy hurts himself because he didn't attack you. That don't make no sense.
I thought it was the way I was interpreting it, that you are so dead sexy that it literally hurts enemies to look at you. It literally is. It's you're so damn charismatic that it just breaks them down inside.
Kind of bear.
He's too beautiful. Ah, blue balls explodes into nothing.
He's like the bear. Yeah, you're right, Al. He's like a bear in the gay sort of way.
So I can't envision this race as anything but a race of dudes wearing biker caps and assless chaps.
Oh my god!
I'm majestic.
So you're saying this is basically a race of incredibly muscular Mr. Slaves?
Just incredibly muscular Mr. Slaves, but with bare heads and covered in fur.
Oh
Jesus Christ. On your next turn, if you attack the target, you gain a racial bonus to damage equal to your charisma modifier. If you do not attack the target by the end of your next turn, you suffer the same amount of damage. So the Bearborn Oath is literally an oath to murder fuck each other into death, I guess.
Oh, it even like, you know, tells you should play a Bearborn if you know.
Play Bearborn. If you want to look like a bear, to excel in battle, to not break an oath. What fucking oath? You don't actually describe what that oath is. To be a member of a race that favors the barbarian, fighter, paladin, and rogue classes. I could rogue Bearborn.
Wow, that's very meta. Oh, thing.
I'm just now envisioning a 7'2", like buff dude in assless chaps just stealing people's wallets. So physical qualities. A Bearborn looks like a humanoid and slightly smaller bear. Actually, there are quite a few bear species that are smaller than humans. Bearborn.
Extra details no one cares about. Because after them, bears are always larger than people.
Maybe they're just like really tiny. Maybe they're like little tiny gremlin that has never seen a bear that's not bigger than him. Bearborn have long fur and sharp claws. They are very strong and tower among most races. Bearborn eyes are dark and their fur can either be brown, black, golden, or white. Bearborn have a lifespan slightly longer than a human's. You'd think they'd live a little shorter because, you know, bears. Most live until 90, but some have been known to live up to 120 years. Playing and Bearborn. Might want to recheck your grammar. Oh wait, he abandoned it. So playing and Bearborn. Bearborn are similar to Dragonborn in that he stole basically everything about them. But they have different traits. They can be very stubborn but honor-bound creatures. A Bearborn that has broken a promise is exiled from his or her clan, so they're clan-like people. Stripped of clan name and labeled Oathbreaker. An Oathbreaker is forbidden from returning to the clan until suitable amends have been made toward the recipient of the broken promise and the clan chieftain. Bearborn live in the far north and south in kingdoms ruled by the largest and strongest clans. Bearborn kingdoms don't have a lower class and have only the middle and upper classes. There are no poor people in Bearworld. Poor people do not exist in Bearworld.
Wouldn't there be like the poor? But then what's the poorest of the middle class?
Here's what they are. Here's what they are. They're homosexuals, so of course they're in the middle and upper middle class.
They're just the race of ANCAP weirdos and assless chaps and wearing bear heads. That's my lore for them now. You've broken your oath, so we can't allow you to hang out with us. You gotta get out of here.
Step on snack. No step on snack.
Bearborn usually take on manual labor and become labor and guards in human cities. Bearborn make great adventurers. Bearborns also are drawn into battle. Over thousands of years, the race had fought many battles over many evil humanoids, putting cities in their place. This is a factor that caused an age of darkness thousands of years ago. Because they just keep conquering cities because oaths. Still, Bearborns excel in battle, excel spelled wrong, and live to feel the blood. They live to feel the blood. That's not blood bear. It's a different body fluid. Bearborn mostly have bad tempers. They never forget insults, but almost act like dragons when they fight back because they're ripping off Dragonborns writing this. Also, they have a fair amount of respect for nature, but only enough to not tear down the forests. They also have a fair respect for teddy bears, but treat them as pets or parodies of their race. Oh.
Wait, what? You mean teddy bears, like the stuffed animal?
Yeah,
like
that's...
they're not even like alive.
I know this was supposed to be funny, but it just didn't work.
How can you like treat like a teddy bear as a pet? Like, I guess like if you're a kid, maybe you don't, and your parents would let you get a real animal, you would treat it as a pet.
I probably shouldn't think about it too hard. This is made by
Yeah, I am thinking about this too hard.
Logic has no meaning in Bearworld, where you can pronounce and Bearborn and XL with no C. Logic and poor people have no value in Bearworld.
Yeah.
Bearborns mostly worship Cord, Bahamut, and sometimes Moradin and Melodra. Why are they randomly worshiping?
I believe all these gods are lawful good in Port E. I should point out that the alignments go in a 5-section line where it's lawful good, good, neutral, evil, chaotic evil.
I thought there was also unaligned.
Well, I think unaligned is the neutral one.
Yeah. So, male names Bjorn, Barn, Dar, Redax, Run, and Rim. Female names. No big difference with male names, except they're like Bjorn plus A. You just add a fucking A to all of those.
Yeah.
Oh man, coming up with names is hard.
Well, shout. My Bearborn is named Skiva. He's a work.
Yeah.
Bearborn adventures. There are 3 samples of your race adventures are described below.
There is none.
And this is why this page is abandoned. I don't know why. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good if you're an ANCAP. Bear people are ANCAPs. So oh hey, next up is a Bionicle race. I guess someone wanted to write the Bionicle in 5th edition.
Bionicle? I never heard about Bionicle in a long time. I think my brother was in it. I don't know.
I stopped caring immediately when they changed the appearances of the main characters, and thus made me as a kid have to buy them again.
Wasn't it because they also said the old forms were weaker?
Yeah, something like that.
I only knew a little bit because I saw one of the movies and I read a little bit because I used to get Lego magazines.
This was before even the movie. This was really original series stuff that I stopped caring.
Yeah, that was when they were more humanoid, weren't they?
Huh.
So the
Well, I'm not
Rakishi.
Well, just a disclaimer. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really up to like my Bionicle lore.
Oh, don't worry, neither of us are.
So
Neither of
just
us
a
are.
disclaimer. None of us really care much about like Bionicle lore, and like neither of us are really very well versed in it.
The only thing I will say is it sad that this has the most effort put into it, compared to everything we've read all day.
I mean, the Bionicle fan base is full of a lot of man children who care too hard.
Yeah,
That
autism
explains a
is
lot.
very strong in the Bionicle community.
Most beings had a scent, either pleasant or unpleasant. Rakshi smelled of cold metal and death. So that's a great way to get me into this. Introduce the concept of smelling people. I could smell the children before they approached. Like it just instantly makes me get a little squicked out.
Do they sniff bicycle seats? That's the question.
They probably do. So this is a race of bicycle seat sniffers, I think. Physical description. Rakshishi resemble reptilian humanoids. No, they don't. They resemble a fucking load of blocks.
Yeah, it even has a picture.
Yeah, that's not reptilian. That's a those are blocks. They look like robots. They have distinctive spines with spikes along it as well as glowing eyes. I don't see glowing eyes in the toy right there.
Yeah, they weren't that fancy. Like they didn't have like those light up eyes like with that you just can turn on. No, Bionicles weren't that fancy.
They were basically bootleg Connects.
Oh yeah, I liked Connects.
Upon further inspection, one would notice their bodies are actually metallic. On further, no, I can instantly tell that they're robots. Like, what the fuck, Chief? And their joints are like that of constructs. I could. You don't say. You don't say that I don't see the swivelly ball joints in their fucking shoulders and ankles. They are always seen wielding a staff, which is their preferred focus of power. If one tore Rakshia apart, they would find the controlling creature a krata inside. What that is? No fucking idea.
Yeah, what is a Krata?
So the krata, a slug-like creature native to the land, would sometimes come into contact with energized protodermis.
What?
I only vaguely know what protodermis is because I think that's also a term in Transformers. What?
I believe that they probably just took the Bionicle Wiki or whatever fan site called article and just copy pasted a bunch of the stuff in for this.
This is still embarrassing, though.
Yeah.
This was extremely volatile material that was metallic in nature, but possessed properties to alter living beings. The krata which came in contact with it would morph, either becoming an inanimate shell of Rakshashi armor or die. Why would you touch it? If the former is completed, another krata then can enter the armor and meld with it, becoming a full Rakshishi. Why would you do that, though? You have a half shot of fucking dying, and then if you don't die, you just turn into a lump of metal. Why would you frickin' do that? The Rakshashi race is vast with 42 kinds to mirror the species of Krata. What that means, fuck if I know.
I think I kind of remember one of my younger brothers who wasn't into Legos at all got one of these as a toy. There was like a weird like slug thing you put in their backs, and it's collect them all, get all 42.
So like the different types relate to the different colored Bionicle men?
They like had different colors and different molds for each color.
Okay. Dumb as dog shit, but okay. The Rakshashi were like beasts which overran societies. Many a kingdom organized warriors to battle and keep them at bay, as they were rapaciously destructive creatures. Leaders have been known to enslave them to control their destruction and use it for their own purposes. Rakshishi make great hitmen and scapegoats. Since they are corrupt when domesticated and destructive when free, many develop the attitude that perhaps Rakshishi and Krata are better off non-existence. I thought that they were like sentient and not crazy destructive monsters. Like,
Yeah,
there are evil ones, but
weren't these supposed to be a playable race?
yeah, this isn't playable. You're just a kill crazy monstrosity. It looks like.
Yeah, I thought this was a playable race. I didn't know this was like a monster or like something. This sounds more like a monster description.
It does. Like, to give you an idea, a Gem Hadar would be more playable, and they're genetically engineered shock troopers from Star Trek that basically can only survive by serving their masters. Like, that's more playable than what the fuck I just read.
Yeah.
The Rakshasi were like oh, we already read that. Society. Employed or domesticated Rakshasi are usually found with other races as guards or shock troops. They have their destructive tendencies controlled. How? And they can mimic the society of those who they serve with. But how? How do you control their insanity?
Yeah, like, yeah, I wonder.
Like, why not bring in the insert weird bionicle toy that allows you to mind control these slugs?
Obviously, to find out this information, you need to buy all of the comics or something.
When sent to attack, their controllers are often hesitant, as Rakshishi still retain the potential to wipe everything out in their path. Just hit them with Disintegrate, you motherfuckers! Oh, it's 5e. You still got magic. Magic's still pretty strong. Just yeet them. Some have tried engineering Krata and Rakshishi to be more useful and less aggressive. These specimens live mainly in laboratories or designated housing areas. Does this guy forget that even 5e is still a medieval period, usually?
I could have sworn I heard designated shitting areas. I'm not gonna lie.
They might as well be.
Yeah, might as well.
Designated housing areas? Yeah, no, it's designated shitting areas. It's just random dumps. On their own, Rikshishi tend to be quite tribalistic. They are utterly focused on survival and fighting, so they have nothing else in life. If defeated or feeling they have met a strong match, they respect the opposing party, which is typically of local monsters. Whether in a city or in the wild, Rikshishi always wielded a staff which they were typically lost without. Really?
What, are they like blind?
They're just a bunch of blind, destructive slugs in metal suits. Help me, I can't see without my cane! Just like randomly murdering children. I can already tell the one Bionicle fan that watches this is probably very angry, but I'm like, whatever.
Wait, you forgot to read the next sentence, which is great.
The only exception is the Rakshishi with heat visions, which they could use their eyes to fight instead. I just love the idea they just like slam their eyeballs against you until you die or they go blind. So the Rakshishi names. The Rakshishi names tend to be quite similar for both genders, both ending in a harsh ah sound. But females usually have an extra syllable in the middle of their names coming from an I. And they give a bunch of names that I'm not going to read out loud because I think I might stroke out if I do.
Yeah, especially that sound.
So let's see if I can say at least one from each without exploding into a fit of insanity. Turok! Okay, stop before I lose it. I think I had a minor stroke just saying those two names. This page is actually the closest I've ever read to an actual Necronomicon, where every sentence just makes me have minor micro strokes in my head. I am actively struggling to not drool as my body starts shutting down reading this. Reptilian constructs made for destruction. These are the traits. Ability score increase. Your strength score increases by 2. Age. Rakshashi reach physical maturity very quickly by about 4 years. It can live until about 120 years. And yet, despite all of that, they're just a bunch of violent slugs in metal suits that don't know nothing about anything. Alignment. Rakshishi tend to be evil, more so because of being raised by evil groups than a clear sense of evil. No, because when they first formed, their first decision was just to kill everything around them. What the fuck are you on about, man?
Oh my god, they are Jem'Hadar.
They tend to mimic the alignment of groups they are in or pick an alignment they think fits them best. They just choose to be good. They just choose to be evil. Size. Rakshishi usually have a hunched over position. They are about 6 feet tall at most. Your size is medium. Their walking speed is 30 feet, standard. They actually have dark vision. They're armored. The protodermis formed on their bodies is hardened like a tempered metal. Your base armor class when unarmored is bullshit 12 plus dex already.
There are some races that do grant some of that stuff, so it's not.
Oh yeah, like lizardmen do.
Yeah.
You may wear a shield and still gain this benefit, but it still feels like for a second I thought he was going to also allow you to wear armor on top of that and still keep it.
Oh god.
Thankfully, he's at least fair in that respect. Yeah, you can only if you're going to try to get away with that, you really can only use shields. If you start wearing armor, it takes that instead. Hardy construction. Rakshishi are expert pillagers and can travel long distance. Oh, hard constitution. I thought it said hard construction because they're robots. Rakshishi are expert pillagers and can travel long distances to pick off stragglers due to the slugs within being small and requiring little nourishment and effort. Your daily food and drink requirements are halved. Languages. You can speak, read, and write Common. Any other language? Fuck no. Not even slug clicking noises, I guess.
Yeah, you think they have their own language.
Didn't the Bionicles have like their own languages that were vaguely
Yeah, I
Hawaiian
think
or
it was
whatever?
like based off of like Maori.
Yeah, it was like based on a Polynesian language or some shit.
Yeah, it was like based off of Maori, I remember.
I guess this guy is a fan of the toys and not really of the media around it. Subrace. Choose from the staff or heat vision race. What subrace are you? I'm the staff race. I'm the heat vision race. What the fuck?
You know, honestly, so far, I think the best homebrew was the Chocobo so far.
The Chocobo is the winner. This is embarrassing. It has potential, but it's just kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, this is autistic as fuck.
Staff. These Rakshishi require their weapons at all times, even when wild. So even when they're just like a bunch of babbling, tribal noise-making weirdos that don't know nothing about anything, they still know how to use swords, staffs. Like you run into one in the wild and they're just like, no noise, no language, no understanding, int of one, but they still masterfully use these staves. They use their weapons to greater enhance their combat abilities, which are nil without it, so they actually need them, or else they're completely useless.
Like, what, do they die or something?
Maybe. Ability score increase. Your constitution score increases by 1. Choice of weapon. Rakshishi usually use weapons that have a rod-like body expertly. You are proficient with the spear, quarterstaff, and trident. There's more pole arms than that, you know? Oh wait, I guess not. I guess he won't be using a halberd. Weapon focus. Rakshishi use their weapons as their main focus. It is joked that one who loses grip on their weapon is a goner, as they usually become disoriented. When you make an attack roll with a weapon you are proficient with, you may roll with advantage. You must finish a short or long rest before using this trait again. So it really doesn't do much other than boost your con and give you a reroll. Heat vision. Rakshishi of heat vision are special in that they do not require a weapon at all times. Their eyes allow for special beams to fire instead. Their dex goes up by 1 and they get thermal vision. Rakshishi of this subrace have special eyes that allow them to see heat signatures. As an action, you may grant your eyes the additional ability to see through objects within 60 feet. They have X-ray vision. You can see different colors. The hotter the object, the more the warm spectrum on the color wheel it will be. What the fuck does that mean? Basically, it's like the thermal vision from Predator, but just explained really badly. You must finish a long rest before using this trait again. Laser eyes! You can shoot searing rays out of your eyes. As an action, you may project lasers from your eyes in a 30-foot line in the direction of your choice. Creatures in this range must make a dexterity saving throw of a DC equal to 8 plus constitution modifier for some fucking reason. plus your proficiency bonus. Upon a failed save, they take 2d4 radiant damage and half as much damage on a successful save. The damage increases to 3d6 at 6th level, 4d6 at 11th level, holy shit, and 5d6 at 16th level. Oh, you can after you use your breath weapon, you forgot it's an eyeball attack.
They literally just copy-pasted the 5e description of breath weapons and tried to replace a few words, but not all of them by accident.
Whoops, oops, I didn't mean to. You can't use it again until you complete a short or long rest. Also, why would you not pick the heat vision version of these guys? You get a free breath attack. Like, why would you ever use the staff one?
You don't have to worry about like losing like a staff and like becoming useless.
At least fluff-wise, but mechanically it doesn't seem like it does anything.
Really, yeah, they didn't like. You think they would like do something mechanic-wise?
Like, if you don't use your weapon, you roll at disadvantage at all times until you pick it back.
Yeah, like you think they'd like care enough to do something like that, but then maybe he realized that he didn't want him to be too useless.
Maybe he homebrewed it and then started to play. It's like, wait a minute, I don't want to be useless. No. Even though I fluffed it so that they feel useless without their weapon, I could totally use this great sword that does more damage than the spear.
Yeah.
So random height and weight, they are on average 5 foot. Their basic height is 5'8". They can get up to 6'8". Their heights are 5'10" to 6'8". Base weight is way too fucking low, given it's all made entirely out of metal except for the slug. Seriously, base weight of 145 pounds? Hell no, it should be like 250.
Or it could be that's what the slug weighs.
It's
one chonk ass slug.
But the slug is like tiny compared to the robot part.
I know, it's a chunky slug.
It's like a baby Jabba the Hutt robot. I'm just now envisioning Jabba the Hutt in a robot, and it's great. He just has a bathtub filled with toads that he just eats randomly as he's like piloting a mecha to fight Luke Skywalker for some reason. That's embarrassing, and it's probably you'll probably see something like that in the new Disney Star Wars at one point. They already introduced Garfield in the Star Wars, so why the hell not?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I literally made for those wondering, a while back. Basically they were describing all of the random aliens in that random casino planet in The Last Jedi, making up backstories and stuff. I made a shit post which just used Garfield, and I called him Gagorfo, the famed Phenosian chef, and gave like some bullshit backstory. And then like 3 months later, they did a activity book for children, which had Garfield-colored catmen that can fly. So yeah, Gagorfo is fucking canon as far as I'm concerned. So some suggested characteristics of the Rakshashi, the slug guys. You can use the following table of traits: ideals, bonds, and flaws to help flesh out your character. I'm giving him credit, at least he did this, but he probably stole them too. So you use these tables in addition to or in place of your background's characteristics. And you have D8 personality trait, which I think is stolen from the Bionicle list. Because it's been like 20 plus years since I've seen it, but I could have swore that, the different colors of Bionicle, they had like a base personality. I think he might have stole that.
Yeah, maybe. It's been a long time since I ever thought this.
There's something digging in my brain that tells me he ripped off those personality traits. Like, I'll serve my group to the last breath.
Yeah, like each of like the Toas had like a
yeah, that's what they're called, Toas.
Yeah, I think all the enemy lines were like divided in the exact same color schemes that the heroes were in.
I think that's right.
So I think, yeah, he's ripping off the different traits from the Toa and just putting them in as the characteristics.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'll give kudos, you put effort into that, but on the other hand, this lacks the kind of simple joy of a chocobo race. It just kind of lacks that. I think it might be because they're just a race of destructive slug people that are raised by evil corporations or whatever. I don't know. It's just something with the fluff. It just doesn't really click like the others did.
It's almost as if they're trying to weld something from an entirely different type of franchise into the D&D verse.
Well, you got a point because Final Fantasy did start life as essentially a D&D mod.
I
Yeah,
mean,
pretty much ripped
yeah,
off
the
like
original
D&D.
Japanese version of Final Fantasy 1 literally used digitized versions of official D&D art.
Like, it had the fancy and casting system in like the first Final Fantasy
It had
game.
fancy and
Yeah.
casting. It felt like a D&D campaign that potentially Square did when they were failing, and they just came up with the idea as they were
It
doing
also
the campaign.
used the dragon versions of Bahamut and Tamayat, which I should point out were originally started as a D&D thing.
They also have mind flayers in them.
Yeah,
And beholders
Beholder.
as well. So it actually kind of works. While Bionicle is kind of, isn't it more like a Polynesian techno sci-fi fantasy adventure or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, I only saw like one movie and I read the first batch of comics, and that's about it. And I only got them because guess what? I used to get the Lego, not comics, but like the Lego magazine as a kid.
Yeah.
Now looking back at it, like a magazine was literally just a shopping catalog for kids to deal over for the most part.
Yeah, but it was still nice to have because occasionally I'd be like, hey, there's something cool that I could get for Christmas or something.
Or you know what's more sad is that as a kid, I got the Playmobil magazine.
No, I had a bunch of
Oh,
Playmobil
Oh.
blocks too. That was what I used to
Yeah,
play with when I was really young.
I mostly played with my Polly Pockets as a kid. Like, I didn't really, because like girls didn't really. I was a girl, you
Hey,
know.
Playmobil have great ambitions.
Yeah,
Only
like there's a lot of stuff for girls. There was this. I had this one friend that was obsessed with Playmobil.
well, the thing is with Playmobil, you can be a TSA agent and force Jimmy to shake down as we make sure that he's not carrying drugs
That
or
feel
a bomb.
when you didn't build mechas out of Playmobil blocks as a child, or
You
make
remember like
Lego
you
cities that you
remember
rampaged
like
across as
these like
Godzilla.
I think I remember these like things called like clickets that were like they were kind of like blocks that you could like kind of this block thing where you could like make like
Or what you did with
I
Legos
think
and
I vaguely remember Clickets. Yeah, they had like a couple
yeah,
commercials, but then it
they're
stopped.
mostly for girls, but I remember like I think Lego or something. I also remember Ello. That was
something I
another block
want.
thing for girls.
If I did it again, something I'd do with Lego is build a model town and then have it be a dictatorship. That's what these
No, what I would
people.
do is I'd build like little Lego cities and then just either get one of my cats or myself to rampage through it as Godzilla.
And do we not have one more thing left
We do
for?
have one more. We just got kind of sucked into childhood memories because well, only a couple of us were really into Bion. I never was in it. I just got the comics
It
from the
was kind of
magazine.
fun.
But the last one we have is Master of Puppets, which I picked because I was interested. I tried to make my own homebrew take on a puppeteer class, so I'm curious on what this one was like. Who knows? Maybe it's actually good. I didn't really look at it.
For those watching, it is a 3.5 prestige class.
So that means you're going to have some requirements, and you have to start as something. So the Master of Puppets are rare. I would just call them puppeteers, but hey, what do I know? But their constructs, familiars, or any other kind of craft companion are unique and extremely powerful. Becoming a Master of Puppets. The Master of Puppets are focused in create a companion and improve him. They can have more than one construct, but he need to specify what of them are going to receive each class feature.
Wow, that's quite the word salad.
So this is great. I'm already looking forward to this, but not in the way I was thinking.
Well, we know this was written by someone with dyslexia.
Or maybe English was not their first language. Either way, you might wanted to have someone double check this one. Entry requirements. Alignment. Anyone can become a Master of Puppets. Base attack bonus, none. Race any, so it's pretty open. Skills. You have to have a craft of 8, either in armor smithing, blacksmithing, leatherworking, sculpting, woodworking, or gem cutting. The choice of skill often determines the type of golem the warcrafter wishes to Warcrafter?
Warcrafter?
What? I thought they were the
Oh, it's
master of
Puppet
puppet.
Master.
I thought it was the master of puppets.
Well,
Well, I guess this is
kind
the
of the same
warcrafter.
thing.
So leatherworking equal flesh golem, sculpting equal stone golem, armor smithing equal iron golem, and use
What's
magic
his
device
gem cutting
4.
equal?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is there such thing as a gem golem?
There is now. Maybe the treasure golem. Actually, that could be an interesting encounter. Like you enter a treasure room and a mass of the treasure gets up to try to attack you.
There is a type of construct that literally looks like a pile of loot, and then it tries to kill you.
I like that idea. That may happen at some point.
That could be like, if you do gem cutting, you can make those golems.
So use magic device 4. You have to have craft construct as a feat. You have to be able to cast 4th level arcane or divine spells, so you are not touching this for quite a while. You must have craft a construct and live with it. They can only improve a puppet after know it completely.
I like to imagine you have to at least have a 116 episode season of a buddy roommate comedy show with this construct before you're allowed to take the prestige class.
And the construct just sits there, and you have to order it to do things since it has no soul.
You can teach Ghost Town to make sure there's a laugh track.
So the Master of Puppets is a 10-level prestige class, and it actually has average base attack, which is kind of surprising since it's a very arcane inspired. I just noticed he did not give a hit. He did not give a hit die. Oh no, he did.
Oh no,
hit die
you can't.
6. D6. Okay, which is a little bit. This is actually surprisingly an improvement for a wizard because they get an improved base attack bonus. They only have will saves, but that's fine. D6 hit die. They get a lot of specials: puppet improvement, puppet repair, puppet link, puppet stealer. I don't know what that means. Inner rage, pit stop, favorite puppet, engineer's path, family improvement. What, do you become like a therapist to puppets?
Family. Like, do you have like a puppet family?
I love the
Family of
idea that like
puppets?
he like has a bunch of sock puppets that he has like as a fake family. One of them with like a badly drawn mustache on it. One with like
He
hair.
has his
Oh no, it's the D&D equivalent of the Finger Family YouTube video.
oh god, is his wife a puppet?
That's well, you have to get to know it completely, so maybe.
Oh no.
It's like how SpongeBob became acquainted with the marble in that one episode.
Master Strings is the 10th level. I hope it's a good capstone. It probably will be. I'm starting to get the idea it might be overpowered. You actually get all of your arcane or divine based spellcasting.
Yeah, sounds totally balanced already. Because
I would probably have taken at least 2 of them off if you're going to have a construct specialist. Not like more than 2, maybe half. It depends on how broken it is. I would at least take a couple of casting levels away, though. Class features. All of the following are class features of the Master of Puppets. It should have just called it the Puppet Master. Spell casting. At each level, you gain new spells per day and an increase in caster level and spells known if applicable. He just kind of took it from he took it from the many resource sites. So this is why it is not in engrish.
Yeah, boy, when you look at the spells, though, he forgot that it doesn't have its own casting pool, so he also made a spell section.
Spells. To cast a particular spell, you must have an charisma score. You must have an charisma score of at least 10, plus the spell's level. Your bonus spells are based on your charisma. Saves to avoid the effects of your spells have a DC of 10, plus the spell's level, plus your charisma bonus of any.
So, this section is normally not used unless you have your own spell pool and are just advancing a previous class.
I just assumed you were advancing a previous, though.
Yeah, which means no, literally that you have no choice to because of how it advances. Which means that section shouldn't even be there in the description.
Whoops. Puppet improvement. The master of puppets can improve his companion 3 times at level 1, 2, 3, and 4. The improvement will be a puppet feat described below. Call for help. If the master of puppets pass out, the puppet will take him and run him to the last populated places that he was, calling for help.
What?
So, if the master...
Imagine, the
Oh, what you're saying is these puppets could also talk.
Yes, the iron the flesh golem that you made out of the shattered remains of a dead family just lurches back. Your unconscious ass over your soldier. Help! Help!
And what is this pass out they speak of?
I guess if you go unconscious, it just instantly manages to save you for some fucking reason. So apparently the puppet instantly allows you to teleport out of a fight that should kill you. Lifesaver.
No, it specifically says he runs. So he picks him up, runs back through the trap-laden dungeon to the surface and into the nearest city.
While you're bleeding out and dying.
Yeah.
Lifesaver. Whenever the master miss a reflex test, you mean save, buddy? His link puppet will make a reflex test. If he pass and is close enough,
Makes it sound like
Wait, how do you miss a reflex save anyway?
it sounds like he's like when he says reflex test, it sounds like he's taking like a written test.
Like he's using like none of the official jargon at all, so it sounds even more like a word salad.
What I love is look above and it says beginner sorcerer.
Beginner sorcerer. Beginner sorcerer. So whenever the master miss a reflex test, his linked puppet will make a reflex test. If he pass and is close enough, it will take the bullet for him. Puppet leader. Buff himself and other puppets of the same master as a free action. The buff gives +2 CA. What is CA?
Charisma?
I think
It's usually CHA.
I think I figured out what area of the world he might come from. It's probably Latin American because it's probably Clase de Armata or something like that. Well, actually, no. If he was Spanish, wouldn't it be Casa de Blindado or something like that? Claso de Blindado?
Do you think it's the same? Do you think it's
I
the same?
think you might be thinking too hard about this, and it's maybe just like a guy who eats glue.
Maybe.
Is this the same? Is this the same
I
Brazil?
think he like sounded like I think he was watching Naruto and like saw like some like these guys with like the puppets like Sasori and stuff and saw like, oh hey, I want to make a class like that, and then he just like pounded at the keyboard and came up with that.
Or are you gonna say Al? Oh no, Al's dead.
Sorry for like stealing your words out of you, Al.
I was gonna actually say that. Well, is it kind of bad that one of the original ideas I had for the puppeteer was based on Naruto? The other was that.
That's fine.
Well, the other idea was there is an enemy in Final Fantasy IV called the Puppeteer, which can randomly summon.
Yeah.
Although I eventually used that one for the Tamer that I eventually
there's
wrote.
nothing wrong with being inspired by it. It's just that this.
It's the engrish.
Yeah.
His English, this English makes me believe this is the same Brazilian that came up with the Devourer.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, that.
I still want the buff. The buff is +2 CA attack, base, and saving throws for 5 turns.
Oh yeah, for 5 turns. You get it for 5 turns, just
As
casually.
a free action, so what's stopping you from just doing it every single turn to renew it?
Reinforced puppet, just plus 10 HP. Kind of pointless. Rush, plus 4 displacement. What the fuck does that mean? What is displacement?
What does this?
What does this even mean?
What do the words mean?
This is the type of words that makes me feel like I'm playing what is it? Crazy Bus? Is it that strange
Oh
Brazilian?
yeah,
game?
Crazy Bus with like that, with all that, with that like really jumbled music.
And plus 2 reflex.
Plus 2 reflex.
Fast puppet, just give them 5 dex casually. Strong puppet, plus 5 strength casually. Natural mount gives plus 7 ride skill to hit the master while he is riding it.
Oh, look down here at under family improvement. Eggener's Path.
Engineer's Path. We'll get there. I'm going to run through more of these because there's probably more stupid things in here. Tracker
Yep.
plus 3 in search and listen. Scary puppet plus 5 intimidate skill. Tough puppet plus 3 fortitude. Living shield plus 6 AC. Need tough puppet.
Battle once a day. Battle instinct. Once a day, puppet may deviate. What the hell does deviate attack even
I think you're skipping a bit far ahead.
You are. Like, what are you doing, asshole?
Let's do this one at a time.
Yeah, we're the puppet improvement.
Unstoppable puppet plus 7 resistance against all elements.
Whatever that means.
I think it's the what is it? Damage resistance to all elements. So he's you actually get force resistance.
Oh, you mean energy resistance?
Energy resistance force. You get energy resistance to all elements of your all elements. So force, fire, sonic, water,
Perfectly, it could be.
ice. I mean,
They could mean resistance bonus to saving throws versus elemental effects.
I don't think he understood what he was writing there. I don't think he understood anything.
Yeah.
The wall plus 5 AC and plus 3 damage reduction.
It's like
Adamantine.
plus 11 AC with living shield, which is technically a prerequisite.
Lightfoot plus 2 reflex. Marathon runner. The puppet gains the run feat. If he already owns it, it moves 6 times his normal speed. Needs Lightfoot. Battle reflex plus 4 reflex needs marathon runner. Battle instinct. Once a day, the puppet may deviate an attack. What the fuck does that mean? Hell if I know.
You mean deflect, maybe?
I think he means maybe it can change. Like you tell it to attack something earlier on, it can change. I don't know. The mysteries of this man's mind are an enigma.
I really think that maybe like it's English isn't his first language.
This is
like-
pretty tortured.
Yeah, I know.
So battle instinct. No one knows what that means. The dodge master plus 8 reflex. Natural warrior plus 1 attack base. You mean base attack? True warrior plus 3 attack base needs natural warrior. Great warrior plus 2 critical hit range with the chosen weapon.
What is the chosen weapon, though?
It's the chosen weapon, the one that's known in all legends. The veteran warrior plus 1 critical multiplier.
Wait, you forgot the expert warrior above that.
This is so good. I keep missing. Plus 1 dice in the chosen weapon.
Whatever that means.
Christ.
Dice?
I think I actually understand. So you could get natural warrior, which gives you plus 1 base attack. Then true warrior, which ups that to plus 4. Then great warrior, which increases the threat range on a critical by 2 stages. Then expert warrior to add 1 more die to that weapon's attack. So if it's wielding like a 2d6 weapon, it now wields a 3d6 weapon. Or a 2d12 weapon. And then veteran warrior, which ups the critical multiplier stage by 1.
Yeah.
So you could do like a large-sized scythe and make it a ×5 critical multiplier that hits on a 19 or 20. Mediocre caster can cast touch spells or buff while is 4 or less meters away from the caster.
4? Wait, meters?
Yeah. He
But
forgot that we use feet.
Less.
Last meters.
Definitely is a foreigner.
Body Irish lass.
Also, apparently puppets can cast. I guess it uses your spell pool and your charges.
at least it goes from mediocre caster to good caster.
Can cast touch spells or buffs while is 10 or less meters away from the caster. Needs mediocre caster. Beginner sorcerer. Beginner sorcerer. Can cast any spell while is 3 or less meters away from caster.
Read that again. Cast any skill. Well, that
Cast
is,
any skill. I cast appraise.
that's not even possible.
I cast auto hypnosis. I cast Iajutsu.
I cast Profession Baker.
I cast what was it? I cast knowledge computers.
I cast tumble.
I cast jump.
I cast swim.
I cast forgery.
At least the upgrade doesn't say skill.
So sorcerer, it's unlike the beginner sorcerer who can cast any skill. This one can cast any spells while is 8 or less meters away from caster. Needs beginner sorcerer. Great caster can cast any spell while is 15 or less meters away from caster. Needs sorcerer.
Wait, he's measuring this in meters? Like, is this in feet?
Yeah, all this is measured in meters.
Yeah, it's measured in last meters.
Oh.
Any of the puppet feats can't be chosen twice in the same puppet. So you can't stack the same ability. Puppet repair. The master of puppets can repair his companion without materials, somehow. It takes 1 turn to cast the spell. Oh, it's a spell. And the test is based in concentration. The spell counts as level 4 spell and heals 3d10 of a damaged puppet, however, don't fully fix it. You know what you could also do instead? Instead of giving them Cure Light Wounds, you can give them the repair spell variants. Because that's a thing a lot of people forget, is that is an actual spell. Because only weirdos who specialize in constructs or are warforged would use it.
Or an urban druid.
Why would you play one of those?
I don't know.
Puppet Link. The master of puppets can create a link between him and his companions. The link is a mark made with a single spell. There's no material cost, but the master can only do it in his own puppets. The master needs 10 minutes to prepare and use the spell. What does this spell do? Fuck if I know. The master of puppets can cast the spell concentration based to steal a companion. The stolen puppet will stay in his side for 2 turns plus master of puppets level. He can cast once per day at level 2 and a 3rd time per day at level 4.
Wait, why would you want to steal a companion? Don't you mean like an opponent?
That would be interesting.
Well, the ability itself is called Puppet Stealer. You steal other puppets.
Assuming
yeah,
there
like,
are
why
puppets,
would you steal
though.
A companion puppet? Why would you steal a companion's puppet?
Well, no, it's just you steal a companion. So I guess you could steal any companion.
Oh yeah, the next ability sounds completely balanced.
Inner Rage. The master of puppets may once a day turn on the inner rage of all his companions, giving it +5 at all battle stats, such as saving throws, base attack, strength, dex, con, and AC for 1 turn. Every stat. But for 1 turn only, so it's not completely broken.
Yeah.
Pit stop. Once per day, a master can fully fix one of his puppets using little or none materials, depending on his success casting the spell. The preparation doesn't take much time, but is hardly done at battle. What that means, I don't know. I'm having a brain aneurysm reading this. At level 6, pit stop fully fix 2 puppets and 3 on level 9. Favorite puppet. The master of puppets can create a link between him and his favorite companion. It is a short ritual that uses 50 gold pieces and magic materials. Now it can possess the puppet body. When possessed, it will have the best modifier between the two. He can cast spells normally and keeps the magic resistance, but not the... What the fuck is MI?
I don't even know if MR is supposed to be magic resistance because magic resistance isn't a thing.
I know, I'm just assuming he means spell resistance. Like, notice that my brain is missing more and more of these incorrect usages of words. I think I might actually be starting to have a stroke. Like, my brain might be forming tumors that I'm not aware about.
Yeah, I'm just I can't make sense of this guy.
The true form of Master of Puppets is impossible to comprehend. Mrs. Diopsid and Adam take 15 sanity damage.
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh fuck! I got lost in this shit.
It was after the MR, not the MI under favorite puppet.
What the hell does MI even mean?
Michigan, of course.
I don't know, guys. For some reason, Serbia Strong was playing in my head right now.
The Master of Puppets can possess his creation once a day, and the spell lasts for the number of caster level times 10 minutes. While the magic is active, both body, mind, and soul of the caster are fused to the companion. If it dies, the master's body will be forever locked into the companion. Oh, so he's ripping off the story where you hid in the Hiroko puppet. You literally go inside of your puppet and control it like a robot. His favorite puppet will gain 3 improvements. I guess you get 3 more puppet feats.
Guess so.
The master of puppet favorite companion is not just a puppet for him. He cares for it. It's him friend. It's him friend. The puppet has no magic resist or immunite against his owner now. So the puppet cannot resist when the master beckons to him.
It means their magic immunity ability that most golems possess doesn't work against their caster's spells.
You can't resist me now, puppet. Now draw me like one of your French girls. Oh god, my brain is just... I think my brain is more tumor than gray matter now.
Oh no. Come on, we can get through this, Adam.
Puppet knowledge. The master of puppets has a great knowledge about artificial life. What is he gonna do? Turn into Dr. Giro? He can do a test to pass magic resistance or immunite. Immunite. Break into a companion mind, see the thoughts of a familiar owner, or even find weaknesses as any kind of crafted creature. I don't know what the fuck I even just read.
How does this relate to puppets?
I think what he means is that you can infiltrate the quote-unquote mind of other constructs.
But they don't really have one.
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, obviously, only party with a bunch of Warforged and use it on them constantly.
Oh,
just read into their brains while they're sleeping. You can't say no to me, puppets. You can't say no. The test is based in concentration, and the CD, not the DC, the CD is the level creature creator plus his intelligence. The master also gained 2 points per level in knowledge, engineering, and architecture, and knowledge arcana per puppet he has. So you could just build an army of them and gain like a plus 200 to knowledge engineering. Oh god, I think, yep, that's blood. It's official. I am actually suffering a subcranial hemorrhage, I think. Is that cerebral spinal fluid? Probably.
Okay.
Oh, we haven't reached family improvement yet.
Oh god.
Family improvement.
It's similar to the puppet improvement, but one of the chosen improvements will go to all of the puppets. He still needs the requirements. This is just...
Okay, Engineer's Path.
Engineer's Path. At level 6, the master of puppets must choose what will be his favorite type of puppet: the organics ones or the inorganics ones. The organ.
What does he like? Go to health? Does he like go to health food store?
I don't- This one's made of carbon, so it's organic. This coal golem is my favorite puppet. This coal golem I stole from Santa Claus to punish children.
This whole ability, just look at it.
The organic engineer, he actually spelled engineer right, I'm surprised, has the facility to create organic puppets, while the opposite ones to create inorganic puppets. But he's been creating puppets just fine. Oh, okay. Okay. Organic engineer. If it has a success in a concentration test, may make a new companion without use of any materials. The body will be entirely made of magic. The magical body will be made of flesh, and it will take 1 day to create a mediocre one, 3 days to create a good one, and 9 days to birth of the perfect body.
Wait, you
What?
give birth?
The puppet. So.
Wait, does he like count? He literally. Wait.
So you imagine you're like a male puppeteer, a male halfling puppeteer, and you give birth to
Oh
an
my gosh,
8-foot
no,
tall flesh golem.
Oh no, Greg. Oh no.
What total wondrous abilities does the inorganic engineer
This
get?
is, if it has a success, if it has the souk in the concentration test, I can't fucking keep my.
Do you want me to take over?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not going crazy.
Please, perhaps take over.
If it has success in concentration
No,
test,
if it has success,
success in concentration test, it may make a new companion with 1/3 the normal materials, which will be multiplied by his magic. It will take 2 days to create a mediocre one, 6 days to create a good one, and 18 days to birth the perfect body.
So
Attach
even if
your-
you're inorganic, imagine passing out a 500-pound fucking
Like
diamond
a
golem.
kidney stone, but worse.
Oh no, adamantine golem!
It's like imagine passing a kidney stone.
Attached to a solid the process can be made spelled with a Y. The inorganic puppets are stronger than the organic ones. It don't eat or sleep and can't die by natural sources.
So why would you pick organic then?
Because
Who
that way you
knows?
don't pass out a jagged and sharp
I
adamantine golem.
guess it's because it takes twice as long to make them. The perfect companion's body can only be made by a master of puppets. The body will have 20 ability points to distribute.
Perfect
Plus
my
5
ass
natural
then. We usually to get for viewers curious, we usually do 32 point buy just so that that marshals actually have some pretty good stats to counter the caster's innate ability to just say, yeah, fuck it.
Yep, plus 5 natural AC, plus 2 attack base, and 7 graduations at 5 different skills.
Congratulations, you have graduated the course of appraise. I only gained 1 point in it though. You've
The puppet
graduated.
buddy will also learn and improve with his owner.
So the puppet's actually sentient. So you legitimately give birth to a golem. You're its daddy or mommy. Actually, you're kind of both.
This is my son. He's an adamantine golem. I gave birth to him now.
Because it doesn't have a
God.
mouth. It could just
I
vibrate.
just imagine walking like at a park with a giant adamantine golem with a propeller beanie.
The perfect puppet show.
Yeah. puppet show. All linked puppets can communicate with each other and act as if they were one, and create perfect defenses and offenses
Offenses.
with one F.
Offenses with one F.
Yeah. Or save his master and each other as if they had the improvement lifesaver. So just imagine a whole mass of puppets screaming and running away with their master fates trying to carry another ball in his arms.
Oh no, that's call
Oh,
for help. Lifesavers when they intentionally jump into the
Oh.
trap to die.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was hoping.
Given how great the English is, I was thinking that too until I looked up.
Think the master and all his puppets has created such a great connection at this point. They can share any attribute with each other once per day, one plus each puppet the master has.
That's kind of
Whatever that.
horseshit.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the caps. This is the
Oh, look,
capstone.
it's
No,
the
the
first
capstone
of.
is Master Strings.
Yeah, Master Strings. At level 10, the Master of Puppets achieve his full power. He may control the mind and body of anyone. To do this, the Master needs to pass the test of concentration against the test plus DV of will plus DV of the target.
What does that
Every
mean?
turn,
Fuck you. I don't know.
every turn or 30 minutes that pass the target may do the test again, but it gradually loses con and whiz for every fail, including the first one. 1 at first, 2 at second, and so on. If any of the attributes become zero, the possessed dies, it turns into a puppet.
Do you also like that it drops the stat that governs will saves?
Yep. The new possession will not survive for too long. The power consumes its body and it'll be a useless puppet in 3 days. Less if the owner uses it frequently. More of these puppets he has, less they last. The master puppets instantly controls creatures that have 1/3 of his DV. These puppets do not have life, so the master got to fully control them. You may do a concentration test to make a partial alive, being able to follow simple commands.
What's a partial alive being? Undead?
I have no idea.
Yes, like.
Also, how come they become useless? Do they just start rotting too much to use?
These puppets cannot be killed. The only way to stop it is to kill his commander, stopping the connection between the two or destroying its body. It cannot also cast any type of spell and use any type of class or racial feat.
And thankfully, the rest of it's mostly empty except for the lore. No, they don't even have the lore.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have survived much more.
No, me neither. Me neither.
So.
No, notice the sample. EL whatever.
EL whatever. It's always funny. Whatever. Do we even have a winner tonight?
I have to say, Master of Puppets was an experience.
It was a roller coaster ride of suck.
Like at first,
it actually has some ideas. I kind of like some of the ideas. Just tone them down a bit.
Yeah, the execution could have been better, obviously.
Also, the visual image of like a gnome just like for 18 days screaming in a bathroom in utter agony before he comes out almost dead with a fucking 8-foot tall adamantine golem carrying him as they gasp out, "This is my son!" That's just hilarious. The birth of the perfect being.
Oh god.
What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like this one just we didn't find any pleasantly surprising ones. Like last time we did the first one we did, I think they had the cannabinoids, which were kind of dumb but kind of funny at the same time. Cuz they were like man things made out of weed. Chocobos worked just fine, but that's just because Final Fantasy started life as a D&D setting basically. And this one's just kind of the winner just because it's the most entertaining.
That's an experience.
Yeah, I almost died. It almost killed me.
But you survived. That's all that matters.
All I know is that I don't think we're gonna do another homebrew hell for a bit because I kind of need my will and sanity and life force.
Yeah, we need to like finish up Empire of Satanus.
Yeah, I ain't got time to bleed from brain hemorrhages and tumors.
I must resist eating Luger. Must resist. Must resist.
If only there wasn't a way to figure out who made this and try to find his other works on the wiki.
Actually, let me see if they have an account. I kind of hope they do.
Let's see. Looks like it isn't clickable.
Oh, that's sad. I wanted to read a little more from this crazy person. Because this person created a gem of pure madness. Oh. So yeah, anyway, next week will be Empire Satanus. We kind of didn't want to do it because honestly, I think the ones that enjoy it the most besides myself are Randall, and he couldn't show up tonight. And that hopefully I will not nearly die because holy shit, this has given me ideas, bad ideas for that puppeteer class that I never quite finished.
One of y'all, night for good.
No.
Don't do it. Oh, oh. We'll have to go on without him.